So as a young startup like that, the first thing you need to do is to set up structure. And if you are into product, know when to increase production. You only increase production when there is massive demand.
As an individual or as a startup or as a company, right? What should one do in a season where there is influx of money?
As a skill-based entrepreneur, if you should have an influx of money, what you should do is, first of all, how can you sharpen your skill? It's very important because the market is getting competitive every time. Then what would you do to start?
Yes. We were talking about the season where influx is coming, and then you knowing when to increase production based on demands. That's actually you eliminating emotions, because you could jump on it based on emotion because
Science, right?
exactly. Hello and welcome back to Momentum X. This is Boniface Wealth. Now we are back on financial discipline. This is the part 3. We are on the series of financial discipline. Remember part 1, concept of financial discipline, and then we look at the common practices of financial indiscipline. And then we came back to part 2, where we looked at the strategies to put in place in order to be financially disciplined. Now we are back with part 3. And this time around, we are talking about the psychology behind spending and a lot more, which the guests will talk about that. And on together with D-Beats, the financial discipline experts. So you are welcome. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much. It's good to have you once again.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's been a while. And Happy New Year.
Same to you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So we are looking at today financial discipline. This is the part 3. And I'm very excited when I heard the aspect of psychology behind spending. So can you tell us what you have for us today?
All right, thank you very much, sir. It's always nice being in this podcast, actually. So, I personally believe that aside everything, human beings are open to opportunities, and opportunities abound. And aside from opportunities, I believe that there are people who have predictable outcome in their businesses. And before I will lay a foundation on all of this thing, I would just have to say this. People see discipline as something like a punishment, but wisdom will demand, or wisdom will help you to understand that discipline entails direction.
Exactly.
Yes, because if you are disciplined towards a thing, you have an angle.
Yes.
You get it. So I believe discipline is not something we should shy away from. And again, we have actually established at the beginning that financial discipline does not mean stinginess. Yeah, I believe if anyone wants to know the difference, they should go back to part 1 and 2. Yeah, no, we actually gave a vivid foundation for that. So now coming back to the psychology right here.
Yeah,
I believe opportunity abounds to people, and businesses can stumble into a huge amount of money as a result of business breakthrough or some principles being applied. And now there is something about money. When money comes to any person, an organization, or to any individual that money comes to, there is this sudden anxiety that it comes with. You get it?
I mean, I get that feeling. When you get money, there's that trigger to do a lot.
Yes.
So often the times at that point, your sense of reasoning is irrational. And so if you should make a decision at that point, you might be making the wrong decision. Why? Because there are some things that are going on within that actually doesn't permit you to actually make a rational decision at that point. Although not everybody, and although it's actually subject to people who don't know that this thing actually exists. So when people get a certain amount of money, and the next thing that comes to their mind is a lot of things. Some people feel optimistic. At some point they feel like they can give anything, and they can just make promises.
Yeah.
Why? Because of some things that are happening within, actually. So I believe it's it's wisdom to actually seek the path of discipline. We have laid foundation, and I do hope that this particular section will guide us towards deeper truth.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So, from what you just said, when money enters your hands, it is advisable, or rather, it is not advisable for you to act on it immediately.
Yes, at some point, it's not advisable. That is, if you don't have a lay down rules or lay down structures. We lay the foundation on structure, that you need to have a structure for your spendings.
Yes.
That way, it guides and molds the way you spend money. Yes, sir.
So you spoke about anxiety, right? So I want to understand, is it only anxiety that happens, or what are the things that happen?
Let me explain this using some biological terms.
Okay, so there's biology in money.
Actually.
Money involves every part of your being, actually. So, and this is it. Whenever someone is expecting money, or money suddenly receives money, or gains a breakthrough, or there is money, often at times, for people that have not conquered that particular level, there is this sudden dopamine strike. And what that does is that it heightens your emotion and gives you a feeling of optimism. And it's actually a neurotransmitter, actually, dopamine. It's a neurotransmitter that is triggered by reward or expectation. Just like, yeah, it triggers your feeling, it makes you feel positive. And often at times, at that point, people make promises without checking long term. So you'll find out that maybe people are in an occasion, and then because of some of the crazy, the excitement, they just say, I'm going to give you $100,000 without knowing that, without thinking that maybe that's just his final money. But actually, that is the activity of dopamine. And likewise, often at times, people tend to miss it. Why? Because at that particular point, your sense, or the faculty of your brain called the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for reasoning, is actually inactive, or let me say its effectiveness is reduced. The strength is reduced. Why? Because of that dopamine strike. You get it? So that is why it is important not to make decision at that particular point. And it is wise for you to actually allow a season, or let me say the further you allow, or the more you allow the time to pass without you taking a definite decision, or an irrational decision, let me say, the more it reduces. So, and that is where we talk about the place of structure comes in. Now, if you have a structure, it will guide you. We all know that, according to economics, that human needs are insatiable. That is to say, they are unlimited. You cannot complete it, sir. You all know that whatever you feel that, if you feel today you have money, or your money is enough to take care of your need, that is because you have not seen bigger vision, which is greater than your money. So, your needs will always be multiple, or more than your resources.
So always supersede what you have.
Yes. So that is why the place of structure is very important. So if you have money, and as an individual, and then you are able to curtail everything to channel it towards the structure you have actually said, then there is no way you can be financially indisciplined. Let's say now you have money, okay, you know how much is going for if you're a believer, your tithes and your offerings, or something like that.
We even lay down a foundation for some rules. Yeah, like I remember you spoke about 50, 30, 20,
Actually,
where you structurally position all of those things.
yes, that's very important.
Thank you. So as an individual,
Yeah.
or as a startup, or as a company, right, what should one do in a season where there is influx of money?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Now, let me take it to an entrepreneurial circle. We establish as individual, actually, personally, when you're managing your finance, one of the things you should understand, we say that, is for you to set up structures on how the money should go, because we established that your needs are insatiable. So if you go through the structures that you've kept, it will, whatever that is remaining, you have to plan on that little that is remaining. That will help you to spend in the right way within the means, actually. So you not go out beyond your means to actually satisfy anybody. So, but there, as an entrepreneur, we have entrepreneurs that are actually skill based, and we have entrepreneurs that are product based. What do I mean? Okay, skill based entrepreneurs are those people that, like you now,
A freelancer.
yes. So, and you will see that most of your income doesn't come by producing. Your products are not tangible, actually, or even if they are tangible, the process of production, it's not like the way someone that is into
The market.
yes, like products like, let's say, Indomie, or noodles, or let me say milk or something like that. These are two different persons and their experiences are different. But then, as a skill-based entrepreneur, if you should have an influx of money, what you should do is, first of all, how can you sharpen your skill? It's very important, because the market is getting competitive every time. Then what will you do
To stand out?
Yes, is to sharpen your skills. That is, you have to keep percentage for your self-development. You get it? And then secondly, as a skilled base, there is every temptation to say that, okay, money will keep coming, or I will keep getting jobs. The wisdom you need to apply is, first of all, learn to pay yourself.
Learn to pay yourself.
Yes, sir. So let's say you secure the gig and you have 1 million naira. It will be irrational for you to just spend it on maybe clothes, unless you're branding. Nah. All right. So, but then wisdom demands that pay yourself, have a salary in that. That is where percentage comes in. Okay, if I should make this amount of money, this is the percentage I will use for myself. And again, as a skill-based entrepreneur, it is advisable for you to also diversify. Okay, you got a gig and you got certain amount of money. What should you do? Try going into real estate or another kind of business. Invest somewhere else. You get it?
Yeah.
Like, real estate is one of the safest model of investment. You can do that with low risks, as far as you are meeting the right people and the right channel. So it's of low risks, which it will help you to actually diversify. But then, as a young starter, do you know that it amazed me that I met a guy.
Yeah.
This guy earns a lot, but doesn't have a structure. He can't account for what is coming in. He can't account for what is going out, and he can't account for what he spends. That's strategy. That's it. And it is funny. And such kind of persons, they are going to live in a cycle. Why? Because he can't even define how much comes in and how much goes out. So, as a young startup like that, the first thing you need to do is to set up structure. And if you are into product, know when to increase production. You only increase production when there is massive demand.
The higher the demand,
Yeah,
the higher the
supply. Yeah. So, but most times people feel as if, okay, once sales is boosting, then the next thing is just to increase production. That is no wisdom. It could be that there was an influx of people for years. And if you don't capture that particular strategy for a while, if you don't study it for a while, that's why if you see business persons that are skilled in business, they are not moved by emotion. They are moved by fact. Yeah, they are moved by
by numbers.
Being strategic. Exactly. So as a company, know when to increase production. When demand is becoming much, increase the production per time. And if you study the market and you know that everything is going well, and you know that there is certain consumers that are in need of your product, then you can sustain that production. But then often at times, it is wisdom for you to actually pour back whatsoever you've gained as profit back to your business. Just like in our first podcast, I believe I spoke about a real estate guru.
Yes,
that he said that for extended period of 5 years, he kept returning every profit back to my business. This is happening.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think one thing I'll add up to what you just said here is it was very clear that emotions and discipline, financial discipline, doesn't go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So you must learn how to separate emotion from discipline, from finances generally. If you want to be disciplined financially, then you need to separate your emotions and then look at facts, both for an individual and for a business. Because when you were talking about the season where influx is coming, and then you knowing when to increase production based on demands, and when you should not increase, that's actually you eliminating emotions, because you could jump on it based on emotion because
Nine strikes.
exactly, you can just jump on that. But when you learn to separate emotion, you will study it, just like you said. You will study this thing that is happening in this season. Is it just seasonal, or is it something that can be continued? And thank you so much. I think that's very, very
Thank you.
enlightening.
Thank you very much.
So do you have one last thing for us?
Not really something much. So, one of the things that will always stand out when it comes to financial discipline is structure. No matter who you are, or no matter how far you've been in business, it is proven that any man that doesn't have a proper accountability structure when it comes to their finance will never know the beauty of making informed decision. So the only way you can do that is to know about your finances. So thank you very much for helping me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So we close it for today. This is Momentum X, creating the moments for your next level. I believe it has been an enlightening session, and then I hope to see you on the next episode. Listen, don't miss out the next episode. For the first time, we are bringing a lady on this set, and she's going to be the first lady to appear on this show. So don't miss out her session. It's going to be an interesting one. I'll see you next time. Thank you.